If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Warning. On this podcast, we take the cases seriously, but not ourselves.
Although, we may attempt to lighten the mood at times.
Our episodes contain graphic descriptions that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. What is your opinion on registers?
Weren't a fan. Hated them. Because if you wanted to bunk off school, that were the only, you had to go in just to do the register. There was no way around it.
No, I don't mean register in school. We would have called it a roll call, by the way.
No, ours was register. Morning register.
No, I don't mean that. I mean,
Here.
No, that was a right snort. No, I mean, you know, like in America, they do registers for different events, you know, like a baby shower or a wedding or what have you. It's not really a thing over here, but it's becoming a bit more popular.
I suppose as long as they don't take piss and be like, well, I need a new cooker and, you know, the baby needs a fucking 38-inch fucking 4K TV for the room. You know?
Yeah. See, I've heard...
If you want a dummy or a pair of socks.
Mm-hmm. I've heard people say, you know, they think kind of like your attitude there. They think it's a bit kind of like, oh, you're trying to tell me what to get you. I personally...
Yeah, but you don't want to buy him shite.
That's exactly it. That I was going to say, I'm kind of... Right. Some people would describe me as difficult to buy for. I don't view it that way because I'm very straightforward. If you say, what do you want for Christmas? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think, like, it's took me 10 years, but I'm getting to the point where I don't really, like, I do ask you sometimes just in case there is something different. But if I go in your makeup drawer, I can see what's going low. Like when I bought you the dry shampoo in fucking bulk.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, you've bought me a nice, more expensive gift, like a new handbag or something. But equally, you've bought me stuff that costs 10, 15 quid kind of things. Yeah. It's like, I like a stock up present. You know, I'm running low on dry shampoo. I need some more, you know, face mask, whatever the fuck. No, I think registers are a good idea for that. You know, you're cutting the bullshit. You're getting exactly what you need. I think we should do it more over this part of the world. The Americans have got it right there.
And where'd this come from?
Well, someone we know had a baby recently, and she did a register.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you do remember?
Yeah, we got us some.
We did. Yeah, we got her a couple of items. So Neil bought the first item, and he bought something inexpensive, as he, you know, was just talking about. Like 10 quid, I think it was.
Nail clippers, weren't it?
Something like that. You know, nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to shit on you. But he bought that, and he messaged her and said, oh, I've bought you this. She said, thank you.
Yeah, because that first one I did as a test.
As a test?
Yeah, because so she sent a link, and you press this link, and it showed the list. But then if you pressed an item, it took you straight to Amazon. But it took you to Amazon UK, And then you had to buy the item, but you had to change. You had to put her name and address to be delivered to on your account.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing it all to test it out.
Yeah. So anyway, a day or so later, I went on the register and bought her a gift. Now, the monetary value doesn't matter, but the item I purchased happened to be €40. So I just said to Neil, because I didn't have her number on my phone, I said, oh, will you just message her and say, bought her this, so she knows it's coming. It's off the list. She knows to expect it. And Neil goes, oh, just so you know, we've bought you this. His fucking 10 quid item he bought, but the more expensive one
I don't
we
see an
bought.
issue with that.
I looked, because I saw you messaging, I went, what was that? What was that? It's not an issue, but it's the fact that when you paid, it was I.
I think I bought.
I made sure to tell her as well.
I think mine.
She found it hilarious that you had the fucking gall to do that.
I think it were nail clippers I bought. They were £6, and then I had to pay 11 quid total for shipping.
Well, this is the thing. I thought, like you said, we were going to get a few different items between us for her. But when you said I purchased, I was like, okay, fine, we're doing separate. Well, I've purchased this. But no, suddenly we're a couple in this. We're a team, aren't we, Neil?
I don't see an issue.
At least she got a laugh out of it, out of your outrageous behaviour.
Well, that's what I was aiming for.
Yeah. Scandalous, honestly. Bit of a cheap bastard, aren't you, Neil?
Apparently. We'll just swiftly move on anyway. We have a shout out.
We do indeed.
So this week we have Vanessa.
Nessa.
Well, this is one of the names.
Ness.
Nessie.
Nessie.
Vanny.
Vanny. Oh, I don't like that one.
What, because it sounds like Fanny?
It's not great, is it?
Okay.
What about Van? Off the wall.
Vans are off the wall.
The shoes.
Yeah.
That's their slogan. Vans off the wall. Vans off the wall. Van Helsing.
What? Van Mortal.
Van Mortal.
Actually, what about, here we go, Phantom of the Opera. No, Phantom of the Mortal.
Love it. So we settled?
So thank you, Phantom of the Mortal.
We appreciate you.
Her name was Elizabeth Short, but the world would come to know her by another name.
The Black Dahlia.
The Black Dahlia.
The Black Dahlia.
The Black Dahlia. In 1947, her body was found severed in a vacant lot in Los Angeles. The headlines were sensational, the rumors endless. But who was the real woman behind the myth? How did Elizabeth's life lead her to become one of the most infamous murder victims in history? And the question that still haunts us nearly 80 years later, who killed her? Join me for my new 6-part series of Once Upon a Crime, Broken, The Black Dahlia Murder. I'll peel back the layers of truth and legend to uncover the real Black Dahlia and provide details lost to history in this chilling case. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you listen, or watch on YouTube.
So, what you got for us today?
Today we are talking about the murder of Elizabeth Olten.
Okay.
But before we talk about Elizabeth, we need to talk about one of her neighbours, Alyssa. Alyssa Bustamante was born on the 28th of January 1994. She was one of 4 children born to parents Michelle and Cesar Bustamante. In 2002, her grandparents gained custody of Alyssa and her siblings due to her mother's struggles with substance abuse and their father's incarceration for assault. Following this, her grandparents moved her and her siblings from California to St. Martin's, Missouri. Her family were members of the LDS Church, and Alyssa was active in several of their youth groups.
Busybody.
In 2007, at the age of 13, Alyssa was hospitalised following a suicide attempt by overdose. She spent 10 days being treated in a psychiatric hospital and was prescribed antidepressants.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? So you try and kill yourself using medication So do you know what we're going to do? We're going to put her on more.
Well, antidepressants. They were trying to treat Alyssa.
Yeah, but you're giving her more tablets. At least make it so someone else has to give her them.
What, you think Alyssa should have been kept in treatment for longer?
What?
Do you think Alyssa should have been kept in treatment for longer than 10 days?
No, but like, so say if you'd took a load of pills, trying to do what you're saying, and we get you to hospital, and we get you cleaned up, and they're like, right, so she's depressed, so we're gonna put her on these tablets. I'll be like, well, she's not holding the fucking tablets. I'll hold on to the tablets, and she can have a 2 a day, or whatever the dosage is. No?
It's a wonder you never went into psychiatry.
But that's common sense. No?
We have had similar conversations around concerns of people not taking their medication, but usually antipsychotic rather than antidepressants.
Yeah, but I mean as... So, say they give her, I don't know, 80 tablets, and it's like, right, you can take 2 a day, and she goes home, and she's like, fuck this, I'm going to try again, and she takes all 80. That's what I mean. To prevent her from trying again.
Well, your concerns are valid, as Alyssa continued to struggle with depression and self-harm, even showing the scars on her wrist to her friends. And her friends said that they did notice a difference in Alyssa since coming out of the hospital.
Give her time, it takes a couple of days for her to pass that hospital food.
Alyssa definitely seemed to be more into the emo/scene subculture, which was hugely popular in the 2000s, particularly for someone around her age. And Alyssa had posted pictures of herself online with fake blood around her mouth and gun fingers pointed towards her temple. Obviously, with what we're going to be talking about today, this fits into the narrative of how people would like to portray this crime. But the reality of the situation is that Alyssa was a teenage girl in the late 2000s who was active online. She was just expressing herself through a style and with an online persona that she felt more comfortable in, and again, hugely popular, particularly online. Fun fact, did you know that Skrillex was one of the big emo kids back in the day? Before he became known as Skrillex, he was more of an emo kid.
Okay. Yeah, but big where?
I mean, he was in a band, but you know, do you remember back in the day on Bebo? When they'd have whatever chavvy pages you were interested in.
Wow.
And then they'd have the more emo or scene kids, and they'd have all these groups where they join to be with other people of the same interests.
Okay.
And they post pictures of themselves and shit.
Yeah.
You would always see pictures of Skrillex, or as he was known then by his name of Sonny Moore. He was one of the cool kids. Not to you. He was probably someone you would have wanted to beat the shite out of.
Okay.
But, you know. To someone like Alyssa, sorry to cut you off again.
It's all right.
But to someone like Alyssa, she probably would have been like, oh my God, it's Sonny Moore. You know?
Yeah, I think the pages I were on were happy slapping in there.
Fits the bill. Now, what isn't great though, is what Alyssa listed as her hobbies on her YouTube channel. Quote, killing people and cutting.
But that was a bio.
Yeah, apparently. Those were her hobbies.
I have card tricks, airsoft, and gaming.
Yeah.
And she has what?
Killing people and cutting.
Cutting what? People?
Cutting. I mean, yeah.
Origami.
Well, that's folding.
Well, there must be a name for cutting paper. No, when you fold paper over and over again, then you cut I don't know.
Yeah, into a snowflake or some shit.
I was thinking more a person. And
You're drawing a dog.
And then you open it out and it's loads of people holding hands. Must be a name for that. But I don't think that's what she meant.
On her YouTube channel, it was said that she posted a video of her getting her 2 younger brothers to grab an electrical fence. So when I read this, I thought, okay, not great, but given the time, sounds more like something influenced by the likes of Jackass, rather than some twisted desire to inflict pain on someone else.
Yeah, we used to do it.
Well, I found the video, and it even says on the video, quote, "Idiots getting electrocuted by an electric fence," and in brackets, "Jackass stunt." The video then shows Alyssa hesitant at first, but touching the fence, laughing, and then her brother does the same. So it wasn't, the way people are painting is Alyssa was forcing her brother to. It was kids being fucking idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we did it. You know, the ones that go around like fields and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Be like a strip of white fabric. Where
else are electric fences really? It's usually
power lines.
That's a power line.
Yeah, but if you go to like an electrical box, sometimes they have.
Do they?
Haven't you seen the danger videos and stuff?
Yeah, but that's once they get in, isn't it? And then they touch the wire and it's like, danger.
Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm. When you say electrical fence to me, my mind immediately goes to farm.
Mine goes to any fence with electric running through it.
Okay. On Twitter, she posted about hating authority and how, quote, "bad decisions make great stories." Again, knowing what she did, I don't want to defend her, but a lot of this just sounds like a teenager with access to the internet. Of course, people love to latch on to these parts of the story, but overall, her day-to-day life was pretty average. She hung out with her friends, went to church with her family. She was performing well academically with A to B grades. Her attendance was good, and she had never been in trouble either in school or with the law, which is more than I can say for Neil or myself in regards to school.
So to do it bio, I'd just take it as, so she's not into that.
She's trying to be edgy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe what I put in my bio? Where's she from?
California, but lives in Missouri since she was like young enough.
Look what I put in my bio.
Was that a Missouri accent, was it?
Well, I don't know what a Missouri accent is, so I thought it were a bit more yee-yee.
Missouri listeners, please tell us how Neil did on that one.
Well, you got both. I did California and then I did Missouri.
So the only quote-unquote trouble she caused, as far as I'm aware,
electrocuting her brothers,
is that she had previously sneaked out of the house to go to a concert, which was about 2 hours away, while she was meant to be at a church event, and that a couple of times she had stayed out overnight without permission. But again, teenagers.
We all did it.
It's all pretty standard. Now, just 4 houses down from Alyssa lived 9-year-old Elizabeth. Elizabeth K. Olten was born on the 15th of December 1999 to parents Patricia and Dale Olten. Described as a happy little girl whose favourite colour was pink. Her favourite singer was Taylor Swift, and her TV show of choice was Hannah Montana.
I wouldn't have got on with her.
Well, she was a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah, but even as a 9-year-old lad, I wouldn't have got on with her.
You don't mind Miley Cyrus?
You said fucking Taylor Swift.
Hannah Montana is Miley Cyrus. I'm not saying you'd necessarily like the music of Hannah Montana, but Miley Cyrus now, you're...
I think she's got a really good voice.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say you're a fan of her, but you admire her work. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're not listening to these two now powerhouses in the music industry. Elizabeth loved to dress up her animals, which I don't know if this just means her cat or dog, or the animal which she was particularly fond of, horses. I just get the mental image of a 9-year-old trying to wrestle a jumper onto a horse when I read that.
I didn't get it as animals. I thought you meant like stuffed animals.
Oh, is that what it meant?
That's what
I heard animals like animals.
Well, people do
like an animal.
People do, like my dad always dressed his dog up.
What?
So my dad had a dog.
No, it's just, sorry to interrupt you. It's just when you say, I can't picture your dad going and getting a pet outfit.
No.
So it's random shite he's found around the house.
It was his own stuff, yeah.
Go on, enlighten me.
So my dad had a dog called Lassie. And
creative.
If my dad went, come here, we'll get dressed. and she'd just sit in front of my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He could put a t-shirt, hat, sunglasses, and it'd just sit there. But then as soon as my dad started laughing, it'd go fucking berserk and rip it all off and go nuts.
Yeah, I used to have a Jack Russell, Poppy, rest in peace. I used to always dress her up. I had a little bee costume for her, and she loved that. She knew if she had it on, she'd get attention. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah.
And then at Halloween, I went to the shop and I bought a toddler's witch's dress. Again, she loved it because it was like, I'm getting attention in it. But because it was made for a child and not a dog, she kind of trip up on the fabric. So I could put it on her for a minute or two and I'd have to take it off.
I bought
walking.
Ty a Halloween costume once, and he just like stood there.
Oh, he keeled over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't walk in it. He just dropped sideways.
Yeah. I mean, it is funny because some, I think more so dogs, you know, some love it, some hate it, but the ones who like it, they know they're getting the attention. So they revel in it. Cats, on the other hand, a lot harder to find a cat who enjoys it. Anyway, I assume you're right. Maybe it was stuffed animals because it must have been a bugger to find an outfit big enough to fit a horse.
Yeah, what would you put on a horse?
I don't know. They wear like jackets, don't they? And you just fuck it over their back.
Yeah, but that's not dressing them up.
Braiding their hair, maybe? That being the same?
No, that's not dressing up.
Not really, no.
Dressing up's putting clobber on them.
Maybe it's a stuffed animal. It said animals, though. Outside of her time spent as a personal stylist for animals, Elizabeth enjoyed spending time with her mother, whether it be baking cookies or solving puzzles together. Now, given her love of animals, it comes as no surprise that Elizabeth had hopes of becoming a veterinarian, or if not this, possibly a career in teaching.
So hang on. So she goes to vets and she's like, I'm after a job as a nurse. And they're like, what qualifications have you got? Well, I can put some bomb-ass outfits on them.
I know how to wrestle a jumpsuit onto a cat.
Yeah.
To be fair, that is impressive. As we mentioned, she lived just 4 houses down from Alyssa. With Elizabeth and her siblings being in and around a similar age to Alyssa and her siblings, it was not unusual for Elizabeth to be over at the Bustamante's house, or for Alyssa's younger brothers to be over playing video games with Elizabeth's brothers. On the 21st of October 2009, Elizabeth and her brother hadn't been home long when at about 5 p.m, Alyssa's younger sister Emma calls over to Elizabeth's house and asks if she wants to come over to play. Elizabeth begs her mother Patricia to let her go, and Patricia tells Elizabeth that she can go, but to be back by 6 p.m, as she had already started dinner. How many times did you have that said to you?
Well, I wouldn't, if my tea were already getting started, I wouldn't leave the house.
Your mum didn't just throw it in the oven for you, keep it warm?
Well, yeah.
And the eggs would just be like rubber by the time you got back?
No, I did have that. But it'd be, I just got back late, and she'd say, your tea's in the oven. And then you just warm it up a bit and then scran it. But I wouldn't leave the house while it's cooking. I have more respect than that.
The two walk over to Emma's house and spend about an hour there before Alyssa persuades Elizabeth to go into the woods with her.
Oh.
Well, I know this sounds strange, but the woods are located right behind their homes, so I imagine it wouldn't have been unusual for kids to hang around in there. So it probably wouldn't have sounded like such a strange request to Elizabeth.
No, we knocked about in woods all the time. We had a rope swing in one set of woods. We had a rope swing in another set of woods. We had a den.
You had a resident paedophile there?
Yeah, yeah, we did. But yeah, we had dens, rope swings. Also, we're always fucking about on bikes and stuff.
Dens were a thing. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
A fucking den. Americans, like, I mean, it sounds fucking deadly. They always have like
tree houses.
That's what I was going. They have like tree houses.
They've got cabins.
We've got this little fucking shack that looks like you're never going to get out of there alive.
Yeah.
You know? Childhood. Once they arrive at the woods, Alyssa guided Elizabeth further into the wooded area, about half a mile from her home. And once concealed by the trees, Alyssa launches an attack on Elizabeth. She strangles Elizabeth before slitting her throat with a kitchen knife. She then proceeds to stab Elizabeth 8 times to the chest. After killing Elizabeth, Alyssa placed her body in a shallow grave, which she had dug the week previous, and covers the grave over with leaves. This murder was a thrill kill, as Alyssa would later state. She wanted to know what it would feel like to kill someone.
And live up to a bio.
Yeah. This is what I was kind of saying earlier. I don't want to downplay what Alyssa went on to do, but posting some random bullshit online, especially at the time in the scene she was in, it was her trying to be edgy.
Yeah.
There's 1,000,001 kids who've posted other dumb shit in that vein and have not gone on to do anything remotely similar to this.
Well, do you know what I blame for this? Marilyn Manson.
You know, I can't defend him anymore. I can't, you know?
When anything like this happens, Marilyn Manson cops it.
Honestly, do you know, obviously there's some not great shit floating around, so, you know, I can't say anything. But for years, it was like, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Well, not you, because you fucking hated him. But
I didn't hate him.
People, well, you know.
I didn't like his music.
You don't like his music and he freaks you out the way he looks.
No, it freaked me out when I got told he took 2 rib cages out so he could nosh himself off.
We all heard that. That was worldwide. How did that happen?
Well, he must have done it.
He didn't do it.
How do we know?
I highly doubt he did it.
Isn't it a thing that, like, these Cali girls will, like, take ribs out to look skinnier?
Cali girls.
That?
Look, I've heard about people doing that. I don't know how common or what the procedure actually would be, if it's just shaving them down or, you know.
So who's to say he didn't do that so he could?
He might. You're saying Marilyn Manson was the pioneer.
Could be.
This.
Someone had to bloody start it. And now they're all at it. Good at Jim.
Once Alyssa had finished concealing the body of a 9-year-old child, she heads back home as she needed to get ready for her plans that night, a dance at her church. But she did make time to write an entry in her diary before going to the dance. Quote, I just fucking killed someone. I strangled them and slit their throat and stabbed them and now they're dead.
Well done.
I don't know how to feel at the moment. It was amazing. As soon as you get over the, oh my God, I can't do this feeling, it's pretty enjoyable. I'm kind of nervous and shaky though right now. Okay, I gotta go to church now, lol.
What a twat.
Well, realising how fucking stupid it was to put this on paper, Alyssa later tried to conceal what she had wrote by scratching over the entry.
What do you mean? Oh, just scuffing it out?
Well, one source said that she poured ink over it and a couple others said that she scratched out over the writing.
Right, I'm not very bright, but even I know, rip the page out. And a couple underneath it as well.
Yeah.
Done.
But I mean, if you're gonna write this down to begin with, you're probably not,
sane.
You're probably not the brightest.
Well, she listens to Marilyn Manson.
I never said she listens to Marilyn Manson.
Well, she probably did. She was in that scene.
And
then she goes to church. What's that?
A dance at her church. That's the scary side of it, is like flipping from murder to,
Faith.
I'm going to go to a dance.
Faith,
yeah. Back at Elizabeth's home, the hour had passed and she still hadn't arrived home. And her mother had started to worry. Elizabeth's 13-year-old brother went out looking for her, but of course, he was unable to find her. Her mother called the police, and a search consisting of police, firefighters, highway patrol, helicopters, and dogs are sent out.
You know when Elizabeth went to her ass? Why didn't the mother stop? Like, go, you're not taking her to the woods. She's only 9.
Well, the grandmother. She may not have realised. It was probably just like, okay, we're going to walk Elizabeth home now. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, they're kids who live a few doors down. You're not necessarily going to think something bad's going to happen that time, and you're certainly not going to think it's your kid or grandkid who has done it.
But it did.
It did. The day following the disappearance of Elizabeth, the FBI are called in to help with the investigation. Daddy, they really don't fuck about Missouri, do they? The day after FBI called in.
It's a 9-year-old girl, though.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just you hear so many cases of, wait 24 hours, wait 48 hours.
Yeah.
The search was sent out and FBI the next day. It was very kind of like, get on with it, we need to find her.
Very fast, actually.
I mean, fucking good.
Yeah. But, no, what I was going to say is, well, if she's that daft enough to put pen to paper about what she'd done, I don't think she'll have hid the body well.
No. This was all over very quick.
Yeah.
With Elizabeth last known to have been with the Bustamante family, Alyssa, her siblings and grandparents were all interviewed, and their home was searched. Now, during the search, they find and seize Alyssa's diary, which, with the help of forensics, they were able to uncover the writing underneath. They also noted that on the walls of her bedroom there was letters, quote, of concern, and a hole which had been dug out behind Alyssa's home. In regards to the grave-like hole which was found behind her house, she told the FBI agents that she just liked to dig holes.
Like you do.
Well, with this inventive justification, FBI agents take Alyssa to be interrogated.
Good at beach with bucket and spade like everyone else.
Yeah, I just like to dig holes. During a 2-hour interrogation, Alyssa was described as being, quote, lucid, not standoffish at all. After about an hour into speaking with the FBI, and initially suggesting that Elizabeth had probably been kidnapped, Alyssa confessed to the murder, stating she wanted to know what it felt like to kill someone. She told them that when she saw Elizabeth that day, she knew she was going to kill her.
She's very unstable, isn't she?
I mean, you'd rather someone be forthcoming with the information, though.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's very weird, this one. But then she's immature. She's just a kid.
Yeah. At the moment when Alyssa confirms that she had cut Elizabeth's throat, it was too much for her grandmother to take. She became extremely distressed, bursting into tears, and had to leave the room.
You know what my nana would have done?
Beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. She'd have gone, he did what? And then she'd have gone up to me father and gone, here's your belt. And then she'd have fucking chased me. It'd have been like an episode at Simpsons.
I was thinking more Benny Hill-esque.
Wow.
Not the creepy man side of it, I just mean the scene. Alyssa's boyfriend had also been interviewed multiple times and polygraph tested, which he failed. But the evidence strongly pointed towards Alyssa, and she also confirmed that she had acted alone. In regards to him failing the test, polygraph tests.
Yeah. He might have put a copper coin in his mouth.
Well, I mean, it could have even been, just because Alyssa had told him that Elizabeth was missing. So as soon as he heard the connection of Alyssa and Elizabeth, just that reaction to, oh no, something bad's happened here. Police already had an idea of the area where Alyssa had left Elizabeth due to them being able to track her phone. But on the 23rd of October, Alyssa led police to the exact location of Elizabeth's body. One of the agents tasked with unearthing Elizabeth's body was particularly disturbed by this, as at the time she had a daughter of the same age as Elizabeth.
That won't matter. It's a 9-year-old girl. Whether you've got kids that age or not.
Oh no, of course, but if you just had that flash image of, this could be my daughter, it's... With the recovery of Elizabeth's body, Alyssa was charged with first-degree murder. So, Alyssa has fucked it. Not only did she confess, she showed premeditation of the situation by digging the hole the week previous, and she also admitted that she knew exactly what she was doing at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, she said as soon as I saw her, I knew I was going to do it.
Against the advice of her court-appointed defence attorney, the judge ruled that Alyssa would be tried as an adult. And on the 17th of November 2009, Alyssa pleads not guilty.
What?
Yeah. Don't worry, that changes. Her attorney was concerned about Alyssa's well-being as she had attempted to harm herself while being held in custody. He stated, quote, "We are throwing away the child and we are signing a death sentence for Alyssa. She's not going to survive her time in the Cole County Jail."
Where's my violin?
Well, when it involves a child, do you kind of have any leeway? Like, do you think, say, under the age of 15? Like, do you think there should be any kind of grace period under the age of 18? Or
Not for something like this.
No.
No.
But like, if it's murder, would you say that you're like, no? Or is it the intent that you're kind of more hung up on?
Yeah, it's the intent.
Yeah.
Like, if I just thought, oh, it'd be funny to throw this rock at Megan's head, as kids do.
Lock him up.
And what?
Lock him up. Why are you throwing a rock at someone's head?
To watch it bounce off.
That's intent. I'm going to throw this rock at your head.
Not to kill you, though. She knew, she was
what do you think a rock being thrown at someone's head?
But you're a kid. All right, I'm saying...
I'd never throw a rock at someone's head.
All right, I'm saying a rock, I mean... I'm saying a rock, I mean a stone.
Mm-hmm.
So, chuck a stone at someone's head,
yeah,
smacks him in the temple,
yeah,
kills him.
They go down like a sack of shit.
It's an accident, he were playing. Look at Bulger, for fuck's sake.
What about it?
They should have been executed.
I thought you were going to say, like, what you were just arguing. I was like, there was no like, grey area there.
No. Saying they should have been executed. No doubt about it.
In 2012, 2 years after the murder, Alyssa's trial begins. She'd accepted a plea deal for the lesser charge of second-degree murder, allowing her to avoid the death penalty. Her defence hinged upon the difficulties she faced in her childhood.
Put my violin down, hang on.
Alyssa's father was called as a witness. He confirmed both he and Alyssa's mother's abuse of drugs and their family's history of mental illness. Alyssa herself suffering from major depressive disorder as well as borderline personality disorder, with multiple mental health professionals testifying to this. Dr. Edward John Stone was called by the defence as a witness. He testified that links have been found between the use of Prozac and violent outbursts, particularly in young females.
Do you need all these specialists? From what she's done, you can tell something's not quite right.
Yes, you do, because if drugs could be affecting you or your mental capability, then yes.
Right, okay.
Quote, showing an abundance of suicides and violent events, including homicides. So that's something to note, no?
Yeah.
He also stated that Alyssa had received several different dosages of Prozac over the last 2 years, with the highest dosage being prescribed just 2 weeks previous to the murder. But the prosecution argued that this was not credible, as the connection to violent outbursts had never been determined by the FDA.
I thought you were going to say FBI. What's it got to do with them?
During the sentencing hearing, Elizabeth's mother chose to speak. She said, quote, "I will just say that I hate her. I hate everything about her. What I hate most of all is what people said about her age. The only thing her age makes is an evil monster. 8 times she stabbed my child. In her words, it was amazing and enjoyable. She threw her in a hole and covered her in dirt like she was nothing. But she was something to me."
Not what they do at funerals.
For the murder of Elizabeth, Alyssa was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole and a consecutive 30 years for armed criminal action. Quote, "I know words can never be enough, and they can never adequately describe how horribly I feel for all of this. If I could give my life to get her back, I would. I'm sorry." In March of 2014, Alyssa appealed her sentence, but was unsuccessful.
So she doesn't give a fuck. Anyone who does a crime like this and they keep trying to appeal and get a lesser sentence, they don't give a shit.
You feel they should be happy to stay in prison and serve their time?
Yes.
In October of 2015, Elizabeth's mother, Patricia, sued Alyssa in a wrongful death suit. The case was settled 2 years later for $2 million with a 9% interest rate.
When's she going to get that?
This is the thing, it's unlikely that Patricia will ever receive compensation, but it also means that Alyssa cannot profit from any media coverage. The money will just go straight to Patricia.
Okay. Shrewd move there.
Patricia also felt that the psychiatric hospital who treated Alyssa was to blame as well, as they should have been able to see that Alyssa had violent tendencies and should have taken precautions.
No.
Well,
I disagree with that.
Well, the judge ultimately dismissed the lawsuit against the hospital, but I was going to ask you, what do you think on that one?
No, because it's the same as depression. You're not going to... If they don't want to show it, they're not going to show it.
But your standpoint is that you think Alyssa hid it from them?
Yeah. What?
Well, what about what the doctor testified when he said there is a link? Now, the FDA haven't formally recognised it, but people working in the field have studied it and they believe there's a connection.
See, I'm not in that, industry, am I?
No, but I'm just saying if those in the know are saying, yes, we do believe there's a link, whether it's been formally recognised or not, do you believe there should have been more safeguarding when a person is, like they said, particularly in young females? Do you think there should have been more safeguarding around this situation?
Yeah, actually.
I mean, I don't really know where I stand. I'm kind of with you on this one. In one way, it's kind of like you're grasping at straws, but I mean, from her position, I completely understand the way she would have felt.
Yeah.
In 2024, Alyssa was granted a parole hearing. This was allowed due to Alyssa being a juvenile at the time of the murder, and that she was convicted on second-degree murder rather than first. She was denied parole, but even if she is to be granted parole in the future, it wouldn't be until at least 2059 when Alyssa will be 65 years of age.
Yeah, when it gets to the parole, right, I get what they're saying about, well, you're actually sentenced to second-degree murder. But when it gets to the parole, don't they just turn around and go, you literally got second-degree murder just to avoid the death penalty?
Mm-hmm.
So take it as you're in for first-degree murder. It was only to avoid death penalty. That's it. So they shouldn't get parole and shit like that.
It was a plea deal, though. It's not always going to be what you feel is just. It's just to make sure they can secure it and they're going to plead guilty or, make it an easier trial, whatever the case may be. The reason for this is part of her plea deal was that she would have to serve an additional 30 years for the conviction of armed criminal action due to her using a knife during the attack. Now, Alyssa's attempt at release triggered a change in laws in Missouri regarding juveniles convicted of murder. In 2014, the Supreme Court ruled that no juvenile should be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Okay, so what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In 2021, a bill was passed in Missouri that stated the ruling does not apply to those convicted of first-degree murder. In 2024, this was amended to include those convicted of second-degree murder. And, understandably, Elizabeth's family have supported this. So, you see how it's very, with the plea deal and then with these changes in laws and everything, it's quite messy. And from the legal standpoint, of Alyssa's defence, there is, if they're going to try and argue it, there's some things to get around, but now it's shagged. On the 28th of October 2009, Elizabeth was laid to rest in Hawthorne Memorial Gardens. Her casket was pink and arrived at the cemetery by a horse-drawn carriage.
Were Osses dressed up?
No.
Oh.
Her heart-shaped gravestone stands, surrounded by flowers, and a bench with the inscription that reads, quote, "Our precious angel Elizabeth." The murder of Elizabeth stunned those in the community, not just because of the shockingly callous nature of the murder, or the fact that it was a 9-year-old child, but because of who the perpetrator was. Quote, "Everyone's spreading rumours, and things are going everywhere, but I think people are just trying to find an answer. Trying to find some way to explain it, and basically, just try to understand. But there is no explanation, really.
I bet they had people as well saying shit like, "Course you did it because you were emo."
Well, you would have said it.
I would have back then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't now. I've matured now.
Like a ripe cheddar, aren't you? Quote, before all of this, she was a normal 15-year-old girl. She was just always so sweet, and everybody loved her. She was just amazing. This really isn't her. This was not the Alyssa that I knew. And that is the murder of Elizabeth Olten.
She weren't that normal. She listened to fucking Marilyn Manson.
I never said that. I mean, she probably did with the scene she was into. But
Maybe this wouldn't have happened if she was listening to Arctic Monkeys.
But that you look on dance floor, them lads, yeah. What do you think?
Horrible, obviously. It was a 9-year-old girl that died.
I'm sure you've probably seen pictures before. It's one of those ones, like I said, people love to post it because they have the pictures of her with like the fake blood and doing the gun fingers. So people are like, oh, this is fucking easily
I can't say it about
sensationalised.
gun fingers.
No, you can't, no.
It's part of a logo, for fuck's sake.
It actually is, yeah. Bit awkward now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Halloween picture we put up at this time of year has blood on it as well. So we're 2 for 2. Any comments, Neil?
They were horrible, weren't it?
It was, yes.
Like, see how I were onto something though between the first degree and the second degree and what she was trying to do.
Yeah, you were. I didn't want to we were about to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, regardless of the law changes there, with plea deals, it is kind of, they're just making sure they get the conviction. Especially Alyssa initially pleaded not guilty. So to make sure she can plead guilty and make it an easier trial,
But it's not often I'm on the money, so I'm going to gloat a bit. So I was bang on.
Congratulations.
Why am I sensing sarcasm?
It's just how happy you look with yourself.
Because like I said, it's not often it happens.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
Yeah. Right. Oddity.
Soap Mummies. Or Daddies.
You're ripping me off.
You did mention it previously. It's not ripping you off. I was paying homage to you. It's a positive thing. Paying tribute to you.
Okay. Continue.
Oh, thank you. Can I? So we've mentioned soap mummies before. I believe it was in our burial leasing episode. But for a quick reminder, soap mummies are caused by a process called saponification. This is when the fats in the body start to break down into a wax-like substance caused by high levels of moisture and lack of oxygen.
Basically, if you want to look at it the same way I do, the man-made mummies.
Well, what do you mean man-made?
Because everything's
it's a natural.
Yeah, it's everything.
It's actually.
Sorry, that's what I meant. It's not man-made.
It's actually the opposite. It is essentially a natural mummification process.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
The natural mummy or daddy. Adipose hair or corpse wax then forms a protective layer around the body. And like Neil incorrectly and then correctly stated, it is essentially natural mummification.
Yeah.
Now, one of the most well-known soap mummies is the Soap Lady, who was exhumed in Philadelphia in 1875.
Turned out to be a fella.
No.
Oh.
This woman was thought to have died during the Philadelphia yellow fever epidemic in the 1790s, and based on her teeth, it was assumed she was middle-aged to older. But an X-ray of her body showed that the buttons and pins on her clothing had not been manufactured in the US until the 1830s. And in 2007, new X-rays gave a more accurate age range of her being between her late 20s to early 40s.
Middle-aged? They said that before.
Late 20s is middle-aged?
Well, back then.
Well, fair point well made.
Saved myself there.
She currently resides in the Mother Museum encased in a glass coffin. She's laid on her back, her mouth wide open as if screaming, hands resting on her legs and her toes pointed. She still has some of her hair and, although shriveled and sunken, her eyes as well.
By the position, it sounds like constipation. Hands on the knees, screaming.
She was going through it. The formation of adipocere is more common in women, infants, and those carrying more weight due to the higher levels of fat in the body. But as Neil pointed out previously, what about the fellas? There was also a man exhumed from the same cemetery in Philadelphia in 1875. The Soap Man is thought to have been in his 40s, and his death occurred sometime between 1800 and 1810. Both of these bodies exhumed were thought to have been from the Ellenbogen family, but there is no record of any deaths under these names at the time. The Soap Man currently lives in the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History, but sadly he is no longer on display because of his fragile masculinity.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I'm taking the piss. But the Soap Man is incredibly fragile, and because of this, he needs to be kept in a climate-controlled environment. I literally just said fragile masculinity to get your reaction.
Yeah. So basically, you're trying to say, even as corpses, women are better than men.
Did I do good in keeping a straight face?
Yes.
Oh,
But you're hiding behind your fucking mic.
I literally dipped back a bit.
Yeah.
Fuck. But in regards to the Soap Man, I tell you, I'd say he was a larger man because he is one soapy looking bastard. He's incredibly, not well preserved, but there's a lot on him.
Right. You don't have to fucking come in on him. He's dead.
No, what I'm saying to you is, when you look at the soap lady.
He's already been through it.
I know he has, and I'm very sorry for the Soap Man. But what I'm saying is, when you look at other soap mummies, they're still quite mummified looking at, the image you immediately get in your head, where he is waxy as fuck. Do you get what I mean?
Might be Italian. It's all right, I'm quarter Italian, I can say that.
What's interesting as well, saponification affected their bodies to different degrees. The Soap Man still has his internal organs, while the Soap Lady's organs have broken down. Don't you find that interesting? Again, he was a soapy bastard.
Okay.
Huh? Anyway, Soap Mummies. And shout out to the boys.
Yeah, just a shout out to the
Shout
boys.
out to the lads. I think we should start a petition to change his name from Soap Man to Soap Daddy.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? We get the ball rolling on that.
Can we?
The mortals would fucking jump on it if we did that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we're going to look into that.
Anyway, what do you think? A little bit more on Soap Mummies and Daddies.
What was different? You told me, but you were big.
I'm just telling you about two specific cases.
Yeah.
I suppose not really more, just...
It's just your way of bashing on the male population again.
Well, it was just one comment. I mean, I included him. I was doing a shout out for the lads. So often we're talking about men in a negative light because...
Fragile masculinity.
Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah. No, I did.
I thought you would. It was a good one.
Needed something a bit more...
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of that case. No, I did enjoy it, but I wouldn't go and look at it.
Yeah.
I'm not into all this science stuff.
I was going to say that's a much better reaction than when we talked about plastinization. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You were like, what has this got to do with me?
I still don't get the point. I still don't get the point of it. You can keep telling me over and over and over again, I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a whole load of waste of time.
Maybe you're a bit more positive about Soap Mummies. Is that just because it was about a fella as well?
So it's someone
At
fat.
The boyish.
So it's someone fat who died, and his fat caused a layer of soap on his wax.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. So we haven't done anything about it. It's what the body does.
Mm-hmm. With a little bit of help, yeah. The right environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with it if we don't have to lift a finger.
Okay.